We begin with our ongoing investigation of New Orleans 911 Director Tyrell Morris. Eyewitness investigator David Hammer broke the story earlier this week that Morris altered a public record after getting in a car crash in his public vehicle. Now, David joins us with more concerns about how Morris runs the 911 communications district. David.
Yeah, Devin, the Inspector General is investigating Morris, as we've already reported, and today we learned the IG seized cell phones and computers as a part of that investigation. But this is only the latest controversy. Some of the problems at Morris's agency could have been the difference between life and death.
I immediately knew that someone had crashed their car into one of the parked cars on Orleans Avenue.
Monica Munoz heard the crash from around the corner, ran here in her pajamas before the crack of dawn on February 20th, and what she found here was a horrific scene.
And I was the first one on the scene, and I could see that there was a gentleman inside the car that was badly injured. Even though he was unconscious, I told him help was on the way, and we waited for what seemed like eternity.
She noticed a man on a bicycle who had stopped and called 911.
And I said, he needs to be extricated out of this car. I cannot get him out. I asked for fire. I asked for the jaws of life. I asked for an ambulance, EMT. I relayed all of this information to the gentleman on the bicycle who was on the phone with 911.
But this is the only 911 call relayed to firefighters from someone still inside her house.
Someone just hit a telephone pole and there is a fire. Like the wires are on fire.
A light pole catches on fire. It's an emergency, but not, you're not going to go 100 miles an hour to get there.
Local fire union president Aaron Mishor says there were 8 other 911 calls on this incident, but dispatchers only related the least urgent part of what happened. How long did it get delayed because of this?
I'd say at least 10 to 15 minutes. There was a big delay in response.
4 days later, the driver, Bobby Big B Farrell, died from his injuries.
Had we got the right information, there was a good chance we could have, saved his life.
City Councilwoman Helena Moreno asked 911 Director Tyrell Morris about it in March. He tried to pin it on the fire department.
Based upon what was reported to 911, a single vehicle accident, a single engine response is what the fire department has determined for us what the response will be.
The fire union has filed repeated requests for the other 8 emergency calls. And you've not received any?
Still to this day have not received them.
And Mishor says this was far from a one-off problem. This year alone, a 15-year-old died from a gunshot wound after a 911 operator sent first responders to an address miles away. Another serious injury wreck was reported by 911 dispatchers as a minor crash. A fire at the Esplanade Apartments was never dispatched, and Entergy crews had to respond and put the fire out themselves. And a foreign language interpreter reported a shooting victim who called 911 was faking it. All of this after Morris introduced a new cloud-based call-taking system that he said would prevent errors. Devin?
All right. Thank you so much, Dave.